Christmas Eve, 1965. Death Valley was silent, but inside one desert lodge, a collision was coming. I was young then, barely into my 20s, and I watched two men who defined Hollywood masculinity tear something apart that could never be rebuilt. Burt Lancaster and Lee Marvin. Legends. Icons. And by the end of that night, finished as collaborators forever. Burt Lancaster came from nothing. Born in 1913 in East Harlem, he grew up poor, the son of a postal worker. But he learned early that physical mastery could be a form of power. Circus training shaped his body and his mindset. Strength was earned. Control was everything. By the mid-1960s, Lancaster wasn't just acting. He was producing, negotiating, challenging the studio system itself. He ran his life like a campaign. Early mornings, relentless training. No drinking during productions. Absolute punctuality. He believed discipline wasn't optional, it was character. Lee Marvin lived on the other end of that spectrum. Born in 1924, Marvin enlisted in the Marines at 18. War didn't introduce him to fear, it carved it into him. In 1944, a sniper's bullet on Saipan nearly killed him. Months turned into more than a year in military hospitals. He earned a Purple Heart, but he also carried something heavier. By 1965, Marvin was an Oscar winner. When he played violent men, audiences didn't see acting, they saw truth. His presence felt earned, not rehearsed. And yes, he drank. Not for fun, for quiet, for sleep. Late that Christmas Eve, Marvin noticed Lancaster outside, still doing exercises under the desert sky. He laughed. Not kindly. Still performing, Marvin said. Even tonight. That's not discipline. That's fear. Fear that if he ever stops, people will see what he really is. Lancaster heard him. "What did you say?" he asked. Marvin stood up. He didn't shout. He didn't need to. "You weren't there," Marvin said, "when the world burned. World War II, you stayed safe, entertaining troops while real men were bleeding. Now you play soldiers so well people believe it. But I lived it. You didn't." The room went still. Lancaster didn't explode. He didn't defend himself the way people expected. Instead, he said quietly, "You're right. I wasn't there. Not Saipan. But while you were drowning in what you survived, I was building something that would last. Discipline is choice. Control is responsibility. You turned your past into permission. To show up late. To fall apart. I won't carry that." Then came the final line. "We're done." And he walked away. Years later, I learned something that reframed everything. Lancaster had tried, again and again, to enlist in combat units during the war. Every attempt ended the same way. Rejected. Flat feet. A circus injury disqualified him. The war he wanted would never take him. That knowledge changed the meaning of everything. His obsession with control. His brutal routines. His refusal to slip. It wasn't arrogance. It was regret disciplined into motion. And Marvin? Marvin knew the truth that haunted him. The thing that nearly destroyed him was also the thing that made him undeniable. His authenticity came from pain that never really ended. Two men. One shaped by what he was denied. The other defined by what he survived. So, which one was real? The disciplined builder or the wounded witness? Maybe both were performing. Maybe neither ever escaped.